Hey yo, what the deal, my people? I'm back at you with another one, and this is a Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. Review done by me, Tony Teflon the Don. Cheer! And let me give you my scale of 1 to 10 ranking for this episode. This episode gets an 8 from me. And it could have got higher. This could have truly been a great episode if it was not for one specific thing in this episode. And my first jump off moment is King's Landing. Now we see Cersei's plan seems to be working. Now she plans on replacing the Tyrells with the Vale and Littlefinger in control of the Vale. And then we see Littlefinger jump off his plan off of Cersei's plan by trying to double-cross Roose Bolton, or appearing to have double-crossed Roose Bolton, saying that he has married his son to Sansa and that she should give him the North and make him the Warden of the North if he is able to beat that back Roose Bolton. Cersei basically agrees to do this whole situation. After that situation goes down, we see a Lady Olenna on her way to King's Landing trying to straighten out this whole situation with the Faith Militant. Now, it's funny, and people think Cersei is the bad guy, but in all honesty, she is right. These are the people that murdered her son. Now, she doesn't know that fact, but the bottom line is what she's doing to that family, she's right to be doing for the fact that they killed her son. Period. So, at this particular time, when Lady Olenna does get there, we get to play the Game of Thrones Law and Order. All right. Now we see the Faith Militant have their Inquisition, or really the High Sparrow have his Inquisition on Loras, and Loras goes up there and lies. Then Margaery gets up there and lies, and then the male prostitute comes up there and just blows both of their spots up. And from that, they bag up Margaery, bag up Loras, and hold them over for trial. Now, we see Margaery screaming at her husband, Tommen, who is the king. And he does nothing but sit there like a little biatch. All right? Straight up. And we hear Margaery scream, I'm the queen. But we also hear the High Sparrow say, kings and queens, it's not exempt to this. And that's the bottom line. So that is where that leads off. And that is one of my jump off moments. My next jump off moment is Tyrion and Jorah. Now we catch up with our dynamic duo, seemingly more bonded than before, as they walk and they talk, and Tyrion explains to Jorah, listen, your plan may work, it may not, and he gives the reasons why it may not work. The Targaryens are known to be crazy. What makes you think she's not going to cut your head off? He does all this stuff and goes back. Now I like the little banter that they have, going back and forth. But during this banter, Tyrion then tells Jorah that he respects his father, who he met while he was on his trip to the wall, and basically told him that his dad was dead. Now Jorah, not knowing this information, takes it hardly. And I think he's mostly realizing how out of touch he has been with what truly matters in life, and that is his family. And how he has to shit it on them for his own selfish pleasures in his life. And if you look back at it, that is exactly what happened. Now, you remember, his dad took the black, went to the wall for him so he could ascend to the head of House Mormont. And from that, he became a slaver. And then Jorah became an outlaw. Then he became a spy. Then he became a double agent. Then he got exiled again. And it now appears that he is going to be a slave gladiator. But since slavery is banned, let's just say he's going to be a gladiator. So they get picked up by slavers. Jorah Mormont does, and he gets beat up a little bit. Not that bad, but a little bit by Mr. Echo and his henchmen. So I think that Mr. Echo himself is playing a great role. I thought he was perfect for this role, and I'm glad that he was cast for this role. All right, they're about to cut Tyrion's dick off, which I don't say cock. I'm black. I say dick. All right, so they're about to cut Tyrion's dick off, and when they're about to do that, which is something he probably deserves after all that talk he talks about having dudes suck on it, and for good luck, now he's about to get it chopped off. But he talks his way out of it and persuades them that Jorah is a great fighter, which for some reason they believe that he is a great fighter, just from Tyrion's talk. And from that is what we get. My next jump off moment, and possibly my favorite thing to happen this episode, and maybe throughout this whole season, maybe into last season. And this is Arya, Arya, Arya in the House of Black and White. Now we see Arya is taught how to play the game of faces at this time. And it's basically a game about lying. And even though she got hit for not telling the truth, I think it wasn't because she lied. I think because she didn't lie convincingly is the reason why she got hit. And we see this from Waith and her story of being a highborn girl from Westeros, which Arya believes, but then she doesn't believe. Now, this story is taken from the books about Waith, and Waith is supposedly much older than she is, but because she deals with poisons and chemicals, it has made her appear to be younger than she is. Now, it seems that after Jaqen is beating her, Arya is about to break. And she looks like she's on her last limbs, like she cannot do this wax on, wax off shit anymore. And then a guy comes in there with his daughter. And then Arya convinces this little girl to take her own life by drinking the water of the faceless men. And by this, we see it allows her to get passage into the Hall of Faces. Now, let me tell you this, and let me say this straight up. This is the one greatest single background shot this series has done. This is exactly the way I would have hoped it looked like. It is better than I hoped it looked like in the books, without a doubt. And this is why I get upset with this show a lot, because when I see things like this and I know that this is what the show should be, what the show could be, if they just stuck to the books a little bit more, that is why I get mad about this. Now, this is only one chamber, but we know it looked great, and we learned that the faceless men used the faces of the bodies that Arya was taking care of to change their faith. It's not a magic. It's not a glamour. It's an actual physical face that they lay upon their face to change into this person. And I think that was just done really great. Now, in the one scene, Arya touches the old lady's face. In the beginning, I thought that was Catelyn's face. Then I thought it was Lady Olenna's face. I'm like, who is this old lady could be? Then I watched behind the scenes of the house of that chamber by HBO, and it said it was somebody's staffer's mother's, a director's mother, and she was very thrilled that her face was being used in the show. But overall, let me just tell you about that scene once again. I think that scene is great. Now, I will also say this. I did a video saying where I believe that Arya what will happen to Arya this season. I will put the link in it if you have not seen it, but check it out. But I do believe I am 100% right on that. So check it out. It is just my opinion. It's not true. It's not true that it's going to happen, but please check it out if you want to. Now, the last jump off moment, and it really isn't a jump off moment. It is just a moment, and that is Sansa and Ramsay's wedding. Now, this takes place in the God's Wood, where I believe all northern ceremonies take place. And what I can tell you about this ceremony from here, it only seems to need a bride, a groom, a couple of witnesses, and a weirwood tree. You don't need a priest. You don't need a ring. You don't need anything else to get married the northern way. And I do stress that for a reason, and I will not get into why I'm stressing that. But before that, we see Sansa finally stand up to Miranda. He puts that little bitch in her place. He tries to come there and let her know, listen, shorty, you are just a kennel master's daughter. What did you think was going to happen? You can wash my hair, and that's all you're good for, and clean my chamber pot, basically. But when the girl walks out, we see Sansa's like, whoo, what the hell was she talking about? This dude is that crazy with these hunks. Now, I'm going to have to get into this rape situation. Now, in my another video I had done about the telling you about what was to come in these videos, we get a quote from the actor who played Theon, And in that quote, he says that he is going to be looked at as the new Joffrey. Ramsay would be the new Joffrey. He would be behind closely. And he said that it was just a very, very hard scene. First, I would just like to say the scene was hard to watch, hard to see Sansa in a position like that. Now, I knew that a very bad situation was supposed to happen, as I said. A lot of other people, a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other people who do prediction videos and fans in the comment sections believe that it would not happen to Sansa. I had told you from the beginning that it would have to happen to Sansa because it had to happen to someone you cared about. And booyah, booyah, the Don is right again. As I said, I'm glad all we seen was the side of her face. I did not want to see anything else of her. And Theon, the actor playing Theon, did a phenomenal job displaying the horror in his face. The horror in his face is exactly what I felt. So, very hard scene to take. I'm glad that the scene is over, but I thought that was the hardest thing that had to be done for this situation in this video. Now, let me get to my last thing for this video, and this is not a jump off moment. This is probably the worst part of the episode, and it is exactly what the episode was entitled, Unbowed, Unbroke, Unbent, and that is Dorne. Now, I know a lot of people are excited to see Dorne. I know a lot of people are fans of Dorne. I know a lot of people love the characters in Dorne. I'm going to tell you straight up how I feel about Dorne. Shit. This is the most. They should have kept this out of the season. This is disgusting. Everything about it. Only thing good was Bronn singing to Jamie. Besides that, everything sucked. The Sand Snakes sneaking around in their own house like there's on some ninja tactics sucked. The fight scene. I've seen better fight scenes in Arrow. I've seen better fight scenes in The Flash this year. Goddamn, seen hell of a lot better fight scenes in Daredevil than the fight scene I seen. That girl, when she did a little kick up when she was on her back, I seen Shawn Michaels, a professional wrestler, do better kick ups than that. It looked like a little girl fighting. It looked like I choreographed that situation in my backyard. It was terrible. And when they showed Jamie's daughter like getting dragged away from the sand snake and she put her hand out and then he looks at her while she's getting pulled away, disgusting. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. We get Arya Hota come up there at the end and capture everybody and grab everybody up. I could go into more, but I will not because I'm just telling you it sucked. I have nothing good to say, so I'm going to keep it like that. So, if you have any questions that you want me to answer about this video, please leave them on the T&B Q&A, which will be taking place on 11 o'clock Saturday a.m. Eastern Time. The link is in the description when you can leave your question there. If you have a question just for me that you want me to answer about something else, leave it in this. And until next time, if you like the way I do this, please subscribe, thumbs up it, tell your peoples about me, and share this across the realm. And until next time, my people, peace and stay sexy.